Okay, that is the door that, I don't know if it's technically the front door, but it's off the porch. It's the logical place to enter the home. And then you walk into, this used to be the porch, or maybe not even that. This is an addition. You can see the brick exterior of the original home. High ceilings, at least 10 foot. I feel like maybe a little taller. 10 to 12 foot ceilings. So that was originally a door into the house there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time up here. Like we mentioned, it was all fully leaded out. So you've got some period fixtures in the kitchen area, and it would be a difficult kitchen to work in. You can see where the stove and the fridge nearly open into each other. I don't know what code is on a bed and breakfast. I'm certain that wouldn't meet residential code. But my guess is you're planning on gutting and redoing the kitchen anyway, so that's perhaps a moot point. Then you come into this butler's pantry. I think the door beyond that might be a guest room. I heard voices, more older period light fixtures, and then you've got a storage space there. And when you look back into the kitchen, you can see what originally was windows to the exterior are now windows to that check-in sitting area, as well as then the dining area. And you can kind of see all the way through there to the back door. I don't know how far I can get here before I run into guests. So flooring in the kitchen is definitely more contemporary. And then you've got what might be a older, definitely flooring here. It's not concrete. It's a tile of sorts. I thought it might be that concrete, but it's not. Your stair banister. Your stairs are not. So I just don't know how much is grandfathered and how much you'll have to make to code. My guess is you've got a little repair work on the stairs. So these are narrow and steep, and my guess is because it's a historic site, it would be grandfathered. I can't imagine what you would do if you had to redo those stairs in order to operate as a bed and breakfast. It would be a lot of work and not enough space to do what you would have to do to get to code. The spindles, they're more missing at the top there, so some woodwork here. You'll see I would guess plaster, yeah. We got plaster walls that some cracking in the ceiling, so it just depends on how much of that you wanted to live with and how pristine you did or didn't want it to be. Of course, there are people that specialize in plaster walls that can take a look at that. This is neat. I guess original right off the stairwell. Your parlor area. And then those are your rooms. I'm not going to go back there. I don't want to disturb any guests. But it looks like some more period light fixtures. I don't know if you can see that. And another staircase from here. Some beautiful doors. I am going to go to the cellar if I can find it. She told me, oh, right here. I'm going to guess it's this employees only. She said it was near the staircase. Yeah. So hold on and I'll show you what's down here. Okay, that's where I came from. So this runs underneath that grand staircase. And I was gonna say there's movement back there. I think that's a cat checking me out. And hopefully nothing else. Well, aren't you friendly? Yeah, you're friendly. You're pretty too. Okay, so it walks out. I see a door to the exterior. Hi. Oh yes, they always know the one's allergic to them. Hey, cutie. All right, so there's a floor and a cat. It is a very pretty cat, but I'm gonna guess the cat does not come with the abode. I might pause you so I can nose around down here and find electric and possibly plumbing and HVAC and whatever else I am looking for. So hold on. I can't tell you how excited I am to be in a cellar in a 150-year-old home because there's nothing creepy about that. So here's what I can tell you, what I'm looking at. Oops, hey, this cat is like on me. So the electric that I can see is on the newer side. I don't want to accidentally trap the cat in this closed off area, so I'm going to try to keep tabs on it. So you've got you've got updated panels and some updated wiring. You do have a piece there that's old aluminum, but most of it coming out of these is copper. Now my guess is once you get into the walls, it's the old knob and tube, because I doubt they completely took down the walls and gutted it. But what you can see is a lot of copper wiring, which is goodness. So the portion of that goes into the panels is updated. So plumbing, you've got old cast iron coming in. Of course, you would want to run a sewer lateral check before you did any work outside, because if you had to dig up the ground and replace that, you would. This guy is on me. Okay, I'm sorry. So check the sewer lateral. You've got an old kind of rusted out cast iron that they have updated then. So basically the stub coming into the house is old. Check out the sewer lateral. What I can see and hear in the house appears to be fine. Come here. Yeah, I want to shut you in one of these rooms. Come here. Yeah, keep coming. Oh, jeez. All right, come on. Yeah, now you're showing off all your tricks. All right, so let's see here. So I came down the main staircase. That goes to a crawl space there. So that's an old cold cellar and a crawl space. You should see this guy. He's hilarious. So underneath the kitchen and that front room that was an addition, all of that is crawl space type work. Once you get to the back half of the house, here you've got a full, and actually a nice headroom, a full height basement. Oh, the HVAC I was going to show you. This cat's distracting me. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You okay? Yeah, I hurt you, didn't I? Try not to trip me, bud. All right, I'm sorry. So that goes to the crawl space underneath the other house. You've got a hot water heater, an older furnace. It is a natural gas furnace. I'm shocked there's only one for a house this big. But come here. So, and I assume that it works fine. It does look older, so you probably would budget replacement, but that's your business. Okay. Let's see if I can get to, there's one other room here. There's another cat back here too that keeps startling. I think this is probably laundry. Okay, that room I just knocked on has nothing but red lights and a couple of young guys hanging out in it doing God knows what. Well, I know what they were doing. So, anyway. Oops. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs, see if I can see the attic space. They said I probably couldn't get to it. And finally then outside. So I'm up on the 3rd level. It looks like the attic is accessed. I would need a ladder. So no deal on the attic access. That's the 2nd flight of steps to the 2nd floor. I'm gonna go outside. Okay, so I've lifted a couple of vents to see if it was originally hardwood, and None of them expose any wood, but it would shock me if at one time there wasn't hardwood under some of this flooring. But I don't see anything that could be rescued, other than obviously the wood stairs. Maybe some of the rooms, but in the main area it looks like you would need to stick with tile. Okay, I'm outside. So that's where I'm parked. You can see the old mailbox, and then you come up these steps. There's a sidewalk off the side street. So best I can tell, this is the main entrance. The porch floor seems sturdy. Obviously woodwork, paint, that sort of thing. As far as on the railing, the floor is actually better than average condition. You've come to this bump out that has, you'd have to rip out the ceiling at a minimum. It's got electric run there, which is kind of scary for a couple of fans. But the ceiling, at least in that area, this area, of course, it looks better headed down that way. Paint, you would expect paint, nothing appalling. All the windows, unless they put new windows in the bedrooms, all the windows look ancient. So I think you're looking at, you have to count the number of windows, but I think you're looking at easily 100 windows, doors. To do that is, looks like maybe a little one-car garage, detached garage, that belongs to this property. You're on a fairly quiet street. I can hear school. That might be the building I saw across from us. That's your next door neighbor on one side. Landscaping needs some, well, a little TLC. The couple pretty trees, as you would expect. The front door, you've got stained glass. You maybe could salvage that door. It's got some water damage along the bottom of it. And somebody that either had a lot of time or a lot of skill could maybe resurrect that door. It's been bored for a few different locks over the years, but if you're okay with painting it, a quality woodworker, Joe could fix that up. There's people out there that could fix that up, and I'm not volunteering Joe because he won't, but he could. Let me see here. Continuing to walk around. There was some tuck pointing I noticed, but I think you had already mentioned that inside. I'm sure in a brick house this big, there's tuck pointing outside as well. That window, I think, is one of the bedrooms. It's pretty stained glass. So air conditioning, that's what I was looking for. The air conditioning does not look ancient. It looks operational. I'm going to give you that. So I think the HVAC is all operational. You probably wouldn't replace it until you had to. But I wouldn't be surprised. Every window I see is old, wooden, and would need replaced. There is, I don't know if you can see the stained glass up there and the walkout. That walkout, I think of where I was in the house. Feels like it would be, maybe that's that back staircase, but I feel like would be out of one of the bedrooms. That's that attic space I couldn't get to. So it's three floors of living, and then looks like the attic's got at least one window, so you get a little light up there. The brick actually doesn't look in horrible repair, but the size of the house, it's not going to be cheap to do any masonry. You've got things that I would leave, like this crumbled stonework along here, but I don't know. I would call that character and let it go. So this was originally the main entrance. They've salvaged a little bit of what I'm going to guess was originally the fence that went around the whole property. That is, okay, I heard the school down there. So the official front of the house, it's not the one people would come and go from right now. It could be in the future. Although, yeah. So this is officially the front of the house. You've got a couple more residences over there. A school, I think, is what I'm looking at diagonally there. And this appears to be maybe a business, maybe another school right across the front. So the front of the house, if I was looking, not going to be able to get far. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can zoom in on that roof for you. Okay. So the good news and the bad news. Let's start with the good news. It's a steep roof, but because the house is tall and not wide, it could be worse. There could be a lot more roof than there is. I could tell from here you're looking at complete replacement of those shingles. I don't even know what they're called. Are they clay back in the day? Or anyway, all those green shingles completely would, yeah, they'd have to be replaced. They're missing and they're rotted. And then across the very top, there's a beam that I think is probably wood. It might be stone. It looks wood to me. It looks rotten. So definitely, I would reserve a chunk of change for the roof. They've got the year there. I don't know if you can see on both sides of that window that's got a lot of ornate spires on it. The 18's on the left of it and the 86 is on the right, which is kind of cool. Once again, all old windows. This is the door that could be the front door. You've got concrete steps that would need to be replaced. Probably, I was going to say replaced or repair, but something like this will be cheaper to replace them. You're probably looking at $3,000 to get these out and get new ones in. That door is, in my opinion, incredible. An old, probably, doorbell and wood. Once again, some serious repair work that would need to happen to these. Man, the glass is broken in the top, so you would need new glass, and you'd need to take those doors off and spend, man, I'd like to get my hands on those. Spend a lot of time loving on those doors is what you would need to do. These actually appear to be, because they haven't been painted a million times, in better condition than what's serving as the front door right now, but that might be a big fat lie once I looked up close. All right, this is getting long, but other stuff I look for. Let's just walk around the outside. Oh, and then you have more steps down there. So you're probably looking at, if you wanted to change the entrance and make this a grand front entrance, you that a little paint, and you're changing the name anyway, so that would all be fine. There, you need all new concrete here and up. And then, of course, a railing of sorts. It's missing, so you can see on the front door you're missing one of your columns. You've got the column on the left, but not the one on the right. I'm sure there was one there at one time, but there's not anymore. So that window there is the red room, and the leopard print room, where things that shall not be named are happening. Okay. What's this? This is old. Maybe originally, I think, a bird feeder. Okay. Whew. Man, that roof is shot craps. I don't know if you can see, there are like gutters that literally drain straight onto the side of the roof, and maybe it's supposed to work like that and roll down the roof and land into another gutter, but there's no gutter beneath it to catch it. Yeah, so lots of gutter and roof work, lots of masonry work. You've got so here's your wall. That's what I was kind of curious about too. I don't know what this was originally. Maybe a window or an exit, but okay, I don't know what this was, but I can tell you that structurally, my best guess, man, I'm not going to tell you anything. If it were me, I wouldn't be concerned about the structure. I think they filled something in with stones. But that is my opinion as a friend, not as an agent or anyone that knows squat. I would check that out. How about that? I saw that entrance when I was down in the basement. And then, of course, that area that you see there that's got the newer looking finished concrete is all crawl space on that portion of the house. That's the room with the fire escape that comes down, it appears, to the old side and on down. I see some more crumbling brick. Yeah. So I can't tell because of the ivy. On the left is white, and then there's a bunch of ivy there. It looks like there's, unless it's an illusion, it looks like there's quite a bit of rot underneath there. So obviously some woodwork to fill in those gaps. That's the single car garage. I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, so on the windows, you'd be looking at new windows, and then the wood around the windows would come out as it's rotting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 26. If you figured 60 windows, you might be in the ballpark for your purposes. And once again, you've got that older light and another sign. This is the entrance side where I'm parked. And you've got kind of quaint houses here. You are not walking distance from, well, it depends on how much you had to drink. You could be walking distance from the many fine establishments, but you're not really. You're a short drive to places of merriment. Cedar tree is leaning away from the house. That's good news. And those both look fairly healthy. Based on the water I saw, I imagine the porch roof, it appears to be maybe a metal roof on the porch and the whole addition. I'll get across the street and see if I can see better. Hang on. Wow. See, the problem is pretty flat roof. So the addition looks like it's a flat metal roof. I would probably count on that having to be replaced too. As soon as I turn it off, I'll think of something else. I think that's everything. This video is already longer than what you want to see anyway. Hopefully I moved slow enough that you can pause and zoom in and look at whatever you want to look at.